Hello there my friends, you're listening to Ebird Online and I'm back with another review, and today sees the introduction of a brand new couple, Cara and Guillermo. And guys, I don't mind telling you, I'm more than just a little bit upset. I gathered together 5 or 6 absolutely top drawer mother-son jokes, on the basis that according to Cara, there's a massive age gap. I subsequently discovered that it turned out to be just 6 years. And the truth be told, in terms of this franchise, they're pretty much the same age. Oh, don't worry, I'm sure I'll find something to take the pee out of. But just before I do, thank you to everyone who's subscribed thus far. I really do appreciate it, and thank you for all of the comments. Some of your guys' comments on Bilal yesterday absolutely had me in stitches. But for all of those of you who are yet to subscribe, please consider pressing the red button. Make Ebird a very happy Ebird, and also if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash the like button. And guys, press the notification bell just so you don't miss any of my videos. Right, that's everything. Thank you guys so much. Without further ado, I give you Cara and Guillermo. So Cara's 29 and she's from Charlottesville, Virginia. She gleefully describes herself as a Jill of all trades. And she lets us know she's been a chef, a barista, a singer and a dancer, a party girl, and now she's a balloon blower. It's the perfect role for someone who's full of hot air. And so currently she's working making these big balloon sculptures. You know, the kind that people have at proms or weddings, that sort of thing. But guys, I couldn't help but notice she blows the balloons up first and then puts them in a car, bursting a good many of them in the process. And this leads me to the not unreasonable conclusion that she's not the full ticket, but I guess time will tell. And so Cara lets us know that she's travelled all over the world partying, and she says she's the epitome of a party girl. Just 2 years ago, she was partying in the Dominican Republic, whereupon she met a waiter, and after a couple of tequila shots, they got together. That waiter's Guillermo. He's 23 and is originally from Venezuela. Guys, I've got to admit it, Guillermo is top drawer good looking. Unsurprisingly, Cara moved to the DR with a quickness, and they moved in together. And so basically when she moved over there, they lived together for 8 months. And then they got engaged. So I guess in terms of 90 Day Fiance, they're just coming up to their silver wedding anniversary. So the couple, because they wanted to spend their life together, decided to move back to the US, where Cara's training to be a realtor. She duly applied for the K1 visa for Guillermo, and as seems to be the way for this season, they had to wait over a year for this to come through, because of course of the pandemic. But guys, during that period, Guillermo's passport expired. For some reason which they didn't make clear, I think political unrest, he wasn't able to go back to Venezuela to renew his passport. And so Cara's travelling back to the DR to escort him through customs, because she doesn't think he's going to manage on his own to make it through customs, even though he does have a valid K1 visa, and I make her right. The truth be told, when she was saying this whole story, I got flashbacks to Amira. And then she lets production know that she's quite concerned about the age difference between the two. Cara, it's 7 years and you act like a child. I'm pretty certain you'll be okay on that front. So the next time we catch up with Cara, she's on the way to the DR, and she's extremely anxious because of this passport issue. And then we're introduced to the lovely Guillermo. I've got to stop saying that. I feel like a Ben-style lech. And so Guillermo tells us a bit about life in Venezuela and why he left. He said the economy was terrible and people were starving. He joined the resistance. He got involved in riots and political unrest, but it all became too much for him and he decided to move to the DR so he could help to financially support his family. And it wasn't too much of a big move for him because both of his brothers already lived in the DR. When I was listening to all this, I had thought to myself, isn't Evelyn from Venezuela? That's reason enough to move. But then I realised she's from Ecuador. Still, it's always good to be at least a continent away from Evelyn. And when Guillermo got to the DR, he met the love of his life, Cara. He said when he first saw her, he said, God damn, she's beautiful. And that Cara's his perfect woman. And I have to say, she is quite the looker and she's got a fantastic body. And guys, it's weird, but I've got quite a good feeling about this relationship. They definitely look good together. And for once on 90 Day Fiance, we seem to have a couple that are equally yoked. So Cara arrives in the DR and Guillermo has come to meet her. She jumps up and down like a little child. And I realise that it's highly possible that Guillermo is the adult in this relationship. And so Guillermo lets production know that he's super excited to be going to the US. He says he simply can't wait to get there. He said everyone in Venezuela talks about the US and they say it's a paradise. And there you can buy anything you want and have whatever you want. Oh, Guillermo, be sure to tell Americans when you get there, won't you? Oh dear, I don't know why I'm laughing, but he's in for a very rude awakening. If it's a paradise you're looking for, Bilal has a house that he can rent out to you. The ceiling might need a bit of work though. But guys, this always cracks me up when people say, it's a paradise. I'm waiting for him to say, the streets are paved with gold. People genuinely think you're going to roll into Western Europe or America and just make an absolute fuckload of money with minimum effort. Serious question. Is there any point at which people that have been in the US, for instance, go back home to Venezuela and say, oh my lord, it was really difficult. Rent is so expensive, everything's a lot of money. And you have to work really hard. I wonder if those stories ever get back. Maybe not. I just find it quite weird, that's all. And so guys, what happened next was, I don't know, just somewhat disturbing. Guillermo takes Cora out for lunch and they meet up with one of her friends and Guillermo's brother. And they sit at lunch. And honestly, his brother and Cora's friend gas on and on and on about the age difference. And they said he's so young, he's like a little child. And from my point of view, they both fancy her. And they're both low-key gel that Guillermo managed to bag quite a fit older woman. And they say, are your friends older than him? Of course they are, he's 23. And then they start calling her a sugar mama and him a sugar baby. And I don't know how much sugar he's gathering from these balloons. But then Cora joins in. And she says, I'm a Sankey Panky. And apparently a Sankey Panky is an older white woman who goes to the DR to find a younger brown boy. Their words, not mine. And then Cora went a little bit further than that and called herself a cradle snatcher. And Guillermo a toddler. Oh, Cora, he's at least an adolescent. His balls are about to drop. The conversation was disrespectful to say the least, and Guillermo was not happy. And he tells them that he wants to be treated as a man, all in the fullness of time, Guillermo. About 5 years, I reckon. The whole thing was unsettling, and the friend and the brother were cackling and laughing as if it were the funniest thing they'd ever heard. And the truth be told, I'm bored of these two now. Wake me up when they've gone. And Guillermo said it really, really, really pisses me off when they speak about me like that, like a child. I understand my older brother ribbing me a bit, but my fiance, well, that's out of order. And guys, I can't help but agree with him. And the next time we see them, they're at the airport and they're saying goodbye to friends and family. They all have a big group hug and they go and board the plane. They get straight onto the plane and I thought, yes, they've done it. And then it dawned on me, all they've done is leave the DR. It's getting into the US that's the problem. Any old body can leave the DR. And I think it is a real big worry. I remember I had two friends, in fact, when I was a lot younger, and they were, well, we saw them as American, but they were actually English, but they moved to America when they were about, I don't know, 2 or 3. And they completed all their schooling in America. They'd only ever known America, but they both still had British passports. And so at the age of about maybe 17 or 18, they decided to live with their dad for a year. And that's where I met them, in England. But after they'd been here a year or so, they decided to go home and go back and see their mum. And they flew all the way to Miami, but at Miami, they weren't allowed into America. They were turned back and they had to come back on the next flight. And so it turned out that they both got into, I don't know, sort of petty troubles when they were teenagers. And because they still had a British passport, it wasn't America's problem and they just said, nope, not letting you in. And they weren't allowed in, that was it. Finito. So America is quite hardcore. So when the couple disembarked the plane, they were duly questioned by customs. And once again I'm reminded of Amira and her one-way ticket to Mexico and the resulting immigration nightmare. But in the end it turned out okay and they were let in. And this young couple are about to start their American dream. Or should I say in Guillermo's case, fantasy world. Remember guys, you can have anything you want in America. Let's see how that works out, shall we? And that's everything for this review. So what does the Ebird make from all of this? Well, this age gap I don't think is absolutely massive. 6 years isn't so much, and as I say, Cora's quite a young spirit. And I did think she was going to be an unbearable a-hole. But at the moment I'm just managing to bear her. We'll see how things go over the next few weeks. I think this relationship could work out, but I think if it doesn't, it will be because of Cora. She seems to have quite a short attention span. How do I know? Well, she's 29 and she's had 7 to 8 different professions so far. And she's lived in 3 different countries. It does seem that she changes her mind with the wind. And I don't know why, but I have the feeling that if they have any particular problems, you know, such as Guillermo having problems finding work, I don't know what her mechanisms are for coping. She seems to me like the kind of girl who tries to fix problems, real life problems, with memes and gifs. And I also think that she takes things a little bit too far with regard to the age difference, and I see her. I think she's getting in there first before people start to, I don't know, take the piss. So her saying, I'm a sugar mama and a sanky panky, was just her getting in first before somebody else could run a joke on her. But she just didn't know when to stop. When she was sitting at that restaurant, I couldn't help but think, back on your meds, Cara, back on your meds. And as for Guillermo, I think he thinks that things are going to be a lot easier than they actually are when he gets to the US. Him saying, you can buy anything and have anything. You can live anywhere you want. Really? Tell that to Shaeeda. Oh no, you can't. He's got a lot of hard work ahead of him, and I don't know if he's actually ready for that. And I think the whole treat me with respect will prove to be a reoccurring theme with this couple. And his dreams of freebies in the US will smack him right between the eyes before long. So yeah, that's it really. I think the age difference won't necessarily be a problem, but I think Cara may naturally just get bored with Guillermo. She's framed herself as a cougar and a sugar mama, but I don't think she actually really does see herself that way. She's just saying it for shits and giggles, but if at any point it turns out to be true, I think all hell will break loose. But at the moment they do seem to have great chemistry together and they look great together. He speaks fairly good English and she seems to speak very good Spanish. So I don't think communication as such will be a problem. I definitely think she'll repeat the whole Guillermo's so young shtick in front of her friends. Even though he explicitly said, this makes me very, very, very unhappy. Guys, I really don't think she got the memo. It would seem to me that she's more of a critical drinker than a critical thinker. But time, as they say, will tell. So guys, let me know what you think about this couple. Do you think they can make it? I think on the balance of probabilities, they will. But I'm sure there's going to be a few arguments along the way. Guys, let me know what you think in comments down below, and I'm going to get on with my next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. Hit it, press it, smash it, caress it. Subscribe, my friends, subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. You've been listening to Ebird Online, and I bid you good day.